What's going on? Cameron here from Team Monkey Pod. And I want to take a minute to show you how you pick an audience inside of the high level email builder. I've prepared a broadcast that I want to send to a particular audience, and I want to pick using smart lists which audience it is that will receive this message. Now, the reason I wanted to share this is because a lot of us are familiar with the Keap way of scheduling broadcasts. And one of the things that people sometimes really liked, but sometimes really hated, was that in Keap, when you scheduled a broadcast, the list of contacts were locked. You picked a saved search or contacts with a particular tag. When you scheduled that broadcast, it wouldn't matter if somebody else joined the list later on. If you configured an email on Monday, it was scheduled Thursday, but somebody then met the scheduling criteria on Tuesday, they just wouldn't get the message. Now, that might be desirable because the person who scheduled the broadcast got a lot of control over knowing who was getting that message. But also, it could be undesirable if you want it to reflect the real and true audience at the time of sending. Now, the way we overcome that for those of us who use the Keap platform is that we use advanced automations instead of broadcasts. So we allow anybody who meets the criteria we want to enter into the automation. We then hold them on a date timer, and then we send an email to all of the appropriate people when that timer is met. So that's a great way to be able to send to an audience that continue to evolve after the message you wanted to broadcast was scheduled. So you had to make that choice. Am I using a broadcast and locking the audience at the moment that the configuration is done? Or am I using an advanced automation for a one-off send so that it can stay dynamic? But I noticed while sending a broadcast on the HighLevel platform, they've given that option right here inside of the email campaigns area. So here on my screen, I have an email that I want to send out. And I have that segment already built in a smart list. I have a smart list of this one right here, blog, news, and updates. So this is a list that is changing dynamically. If somebody uses a preference center to opt down or out from this list, they would be removed. If somebody has just signed up for our mailing list, they would be added. So I've got this schedule now set for tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. And when I look underneath the send to smart list item, it is asking explicitly, should contacts added to the smart list between now and the send date and time be included in the campaign? And my options are no, only send to the contacts currently in the smart list, or yes, include them. And I just love that this is built in. Now I don't have to build a workflow just to be able to send this email to an audience that is going to continue to evolve. And I get to choose. If it was really important to me to be specific, to be deliberate about who was there and not accidentally send to an unqualified contact, then I would pick the first one. But if somebody opts into my list or becomes a member in the time between now and when the schedule hits, I can pick this second option and include them. So we're going to do that. We'll hit schedule. And now I have confidence that if this list evolves or changes at all between now and tomorrow morning when the email is scheduled, it's going to reflect the appropriate list at the moment of sending. So does this solve a problem for you? Let me know. Is this something where you have a really deliberate opinion about whether it should be at the time that it is scheduled or the time that it is sent? Let me know what you think. See you on the next one.